My name is Steve Thompson. I'm the Asia Pacific manager for Poten and Partners. We're an LNG consultancy based in New York with branches around the world. Yes, I think the FLNG market is splitting into large-scale projects on the one hand and small to mid-scale projects on the other. The large-scale projects really are the province of, so far, the very large companies, the IOCs and the like, whereas there's a much more diverse space around small and mid-scale with a lot of new players and non-traditional LNG players coming in. Our focus really runs across both large scale projects and mid to small scale projects. I think our traditional client base has been the large IOCs because we've sort of grown up with the LNG industry, and those are the ones who've traditionally done LNG projects. But we do get quite a bit of interest from new players seeking to move into the LNG space, and that's a growing area of business for us. Well, it's an interesting question as to whether it's new builds or conversions that are going to be the predominant area. And we heard today a lot of talk about conversions being a potentially cost-effective way to go. But Poten's view really is that we have to be convinced that conversions are going to prove to be really effective in operations and really move through the back end of the conversion in a way that makes them the preferred option. Certainly what Golar is trying to do is interesting and exciting, but we're hanging back and seeing how that turns out for them. I think eventually the Chinese shipyards have the ability to make a significant impact on the FLNG market. I think Wison already with the Caribbean FLNG project has shaken things up a bit. Having said that, LNG carriers, the basic ship itself is a very, very complex vessel to build, and it's as challenging as a cruise ship, really. And FLNG is much more challenging on top of that. So it's going to have to be an area, I think, that the Chinese pursue somewhat slowly and work their way up, because even now on the LNG carrier side of things, they're just now really breaking into that space and establishing themselves. Well, I've really enjoyed getting the mix of the technical side and sort of the commercial side. I think particularly this morning there was quite an interesting dynamic where there's something, if you will, for the technically oriented side and then someone who for the more commercial side of things. So I think the overall balance is what I'd highlight as a really favorable part of the conference so far.